Hello, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to clean a set of Signia Siemens receiver in the canal, which are behind the ear units. Clean the earbuds, clean the units, just daily care for them. Normally, you'd want to be cleaning these guys at least once a week. But any problems that you have with sound, 9 times out of the 10, it's going to be a wax related issue. So it's going to be very easy to clean these guys out. There are various different styles of buds. As you can see here, this is kind of a semi-open dome. So they have, it's kind of like a skirt. They have 2 little slits down there, and that is that style. We have a double dome style. So obviously 2 buds right there that would go into your ear. And then most commonly that I have on this unit is an open fit dome. This one in particular is 8mm open. No matter what the style of this type of vinyl bud, polyvinyl bud, the cleaning procedure is going to be almost identical. Very simple to do, and I'm going to show you how. This other style that I have right here is a custom mold. It doesn't matter if the custom mold is on the end of the receiver, which is this wire right here, and then linked back to the device that goes behind your ear. If you have a completely contained hearing aid into your ear, most likely it would be a full shell in your ear, and if it has this red or blue marking on here, the cleaning procedure will be the same for this style. I will get into this style and how to clean it and take care of it, which is similar to these, later in the video. So if you have this style, either fast forward or stay tuned. So with this style right here, I'm going to get these buds out of the way because, like I said, the cleaning procedure is very similar. Like I said, 9 times out of the 10, it's going to be wax. Really what you're looking for is right in the center of this piece right here. Of course, this is the piece that goes into your ear canal. Dependent on the size of your ear canal and the fitting formula, many of you will be getting different styles of buds. I'm using this one because it's just easy to demonstrate with this style. Like I said, it's very similar, and the cleaning procedure is very, very much the same as all the other styles. So, first thing you want to do, if you're cleaning it daily or if you're cleaning it weekly, you can go down the line and just kind of go over these few tips to just better take care of your instrument. So looking first at the actual bud, what I'm looking for is right in the center there, if there's any wax in there. If you see anything, if it's clogged up, or if it just doesn't seem like it's clogged up and it's not working, the first thing you want to do is clean it. So a couple ways to do that first. I'll go into that here in just a moment. A couple other things to look at, just make sure your wire here is intact. It's very uncommon for these to fall apart, but it does happen over time. And then you want to kind of come back to the instrument and look into the ports here. There's a port right there, and then there's ports right on the top there. We'll get into how to clean those here in just a moment. But most problems you're going to have are going to be wax related on the bud here. First thing you want to do is you want to take it off. A couple ways to do that. I'm going to show you the way that I do it. I've done it a lot, so it's easy for me to grab and kind of pry this guy off. So what I'm going to do is kind of bring it sideways here. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to use my left hand. I'm going to kind of maneuver this bud to where my nail is in between the hard fitting and the actual receiver is what we call it. This is technically a speaker where the sound is emitting from. So I'm going to grab onto it, and then I'm just going to, kind of like a twig, I'm going to break it like a twig as I'm pulling downward. I'm not going to pull, I'm going to pry. So I'm just going to grab it and pull downward. It comes right off. Okay, so we have this bud off. We turn it around and you can see there is a hard plastic fitting in there. That's what goes on to the end of this little piece right here. This is a friction fit, but this hard fitting here makes a sound that you can hear when it goes back on. So just for demonstrative purposes, I'll show you. We'll go ahead and line it up there and give it a push, and it clicks right on. It's kind of hard to tell through the camera, but it does click, and if you can't hear the click, you will feel it click back on. So you want to make sure that that's back on. You don't want this bud falling off. Normally, if it's not on all the way, you take your finger right off and it falls off. Okay, so another way to take off the bud is with your extra domes here. You have a package of extra domes. On the bottom, there is an arrow pointing down to this little horseshoe right here. That little horseshoe is going to make it kind of like a pry tool to get this guy off it just makes it a little bit easier so you're not prying with it. You know, our dexterity could be a little bit bad, so we want to use this. So what I'm going to do is somewhat similar to what I just did, just using this little card. I'm going to line this piece up in between the gap there where the bud meets the receiver. So I'm going to kind of work it on there until I feel it kind of get into the grooves there. There we go. That's in there, as you can see. Now, I'm going to put my finger here. And basically, this is just to make it so the bud doesn't fly and I lose it. Or you could just simply set it down on the table or whatever surface you're working on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pry back like this, and the bud is off. If you just pry it around a little bit, it'll come off very, very easily. So we'll take this guy out of the equation, and then we'll just work on the bud here. Like I said, the bud has just a center little screen there, and if wax is in there, it's going to plug it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our cleaning tool that's included with your hearing system. It looks like this. Now, if you're like me and you like working with a little bit larger tools, you could always go to the dollar store and get a toothbrush. A multi-pack of like 6 is for $1, so it's always a good idea. That's what we use. But for demonstrative purposes, I'll use the tool that it comes with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tool to basically push the wax through. These bristles right here, of course you can see 5 little rows of them right there. It's going to make it, they're designed specifically to get into the center hole. So I'm just going to line it up here. Kind of work its way in there, and I'm going to try and fit as many bristles as I can. You can kind of see that there. I'm going to pull this bud, turn it around, pull this bud down until it goes all the way through. You can see there's a lot of bristles going through there. Normally you're going to see some wax on the end right there. That's how you know it's clean. Now I'm going to take this out, and then for extra measure, I like to kind of just brush off the tip. Please do not clean your unit or your bud when it's on the end of this unit here. What you're doing is you're pushing wax straight into the speaker, and we just don't want to do that. So with that, normally that cleans it up. You can always do that a couple times. You could even soak this in hydrogen peroxide if you'd like. Put it in a cap full of hydrogen peroxide, and typically it'll just dissolve all the wax, dry it off, and then put it back on. So I'll go ahead and put it back on, and then we'll give it a shot. While you have the bud off though, so I'm going to take this back off, pry it right off. While you have it off, you want to look right into the center there. The center has a white little piece in there. That is, it's a mini wax guard. So this will stop any wax from getting down into the speaker. That's what we want to make sure happens, is wax does not get into the speaker itself and degrade inside and just basically ruin the wire to where it needs to be replaced. So let's just pretend that there's wax right in the center there. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out with these guys here. Now keep in mind, not all patients get these at the time of the appointment when you are dispensed your system. We do it on an as-needed basis. So if you need these, don't hesitate to call. We'll send them right out into the mail at no cost, and then you can use these to clean them yourself. And we're always happy to offer free cleanings as well. But if you need these, just let us know. This is what I'll be using. So I'll go ahead and get one of these out of here. And this is just a simple stick figure. On one side, this side right here, we have a threaded rod, a little plastic rod that's going to extract the old one. And then on the other side right there, we have the replacement. So very easy to do. We're just going to line these up. Now the threaded rod goes in first to get rid of the old one. So I'm just going to line that up there. And as I'm twisting, I'm going to twist clockwise to the right, and I'm going to push, just apply a little bit of a pressure to make sure that this is feeding in to the filter. So I'm going to go ahead and twist again. I give it a good 4 to 7 twists, and then you're just going to pull. And you can see that one's out. That's the old one. We're going to take a peek right inside of the tip of the speaker right there. Make sure that there's no wax in there. If there is a great amount of wax already that's passed through and it's already all in there, it is a good idea just to get a hold of us so we can simply replace this wire, and that's no problem. So we'll line this up, and again, I took this one out, so I'm going to flip it over, and on this side we have our replacement. We'll line it up and give it a push, and then I like to push firmly, and then I'm going to kind of come off to the side a little bit like this. That way this piece just comes out. There's no twisting involved. This is just a kind of like a little pick that holds onto this guy. For extra measure, I like to just grab the tool and kind of press it onto there to make sure that it is completely flush and replaced. Now we can take a look at there. It's completely clear. Again, if there is wax behind here already, give us a call. We'll replace the wire. But this should fix the issue if it's just contained up into the filter itself. So yeah, that's how you would clean the filter. Moving forward, we're going to grab our bud and we're going to place it on and push. We know that that guy's on there. Again, we want to make sure that that's on there nicely. We'll move back. Again, inspect the wire, make sure everything looks okay. No fraying or anything like that. Like I said, it's pretty uncommon, but just to check. Now, daily care, I would say every week or so, or however often that you're changing your bud. These buds are going to last anywhere between 6 to 7 months. When they're discolored and oily and you're just kind of done with them, you can replace them. They're at no cost to you. When you want more, as long as your hearing aid is still in warranty, which for most people is 3 years. Now, we'll go back here. We'll look at the device itself. This device is charcoal in color, kind of like a grayish. Most of them are going to be a beige color. So all the cleaning procedure is the same no matter what the color. What we're going to look for now is debris in the ports. The ports, I mean, are going to be the microphones right there and right up top there like I showed you earlier. We're going to use the cleaning tool to brush those out. Skin and hair and dust can get in there. We want to make sure that it's not plugging it up because that can definitely affect the sound quality. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush that out. That usually will do the job. You'll be able to see it coming out. And then at the top, because it's a pass-through, I just like to stick as many bristles as I can, kind of like the bud, and push it through to the other side, if you can see that. And then I like to just do that a couple times to make positive I have everything out there. Another thing I like to just do is kind of brush this area out here where this panel is. This panel's blue, so of course this is our left ear, right would be red. I'll just like to brush that out just to make sure there's no other debris in there. We'll get that all cleaned out and good to go. If you do have a battery unit, you want to make sure to take your battery out. Of course, these ones are rechargeable. And then that's how you clean a receiver in the canal with a typical polyvinyl bud on the tip there. I'm going to move on to the custom bud, and it would look like this. The only difference with this one is the custom tip here. Of course, you're going to know if you have a custom one or not. These ones are simple to clean as well. This one is red for right, blue for left. So for demonstration, I'm going to do this right one. The first thing that you want to do if you're having an issue with this, or if you're just trying to clean it for just general cleaning, is look right in the tip there where the red is. That's where the sound's coming out, and that's the portion we want to make sure is clean and clear of any debris. If it's not, if you look in there, there's a black screen, and if all you see is piled up wax, you want to go ahead and clean that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our filters. Filters are always included with customs. They're called HF4 Pro filters. We have a blue one for the left, and in this case, we're going to be using the red one for the right. We have a tool down here at the bottom, and if we turn it around where it has the brand and everything, if you take this paper off and it unfolds right there, there are directions in there that kind of will give you a better understanding as well. So we'll go ahead and grab this tool here. Of course, it's just like the other filters that we had. On one side, we have a threaded rod, and then on the other side, we have a picker tool. This one will extract the old, this one will replace with the new. So what I'm going to do is grab the end here, and just something to mention with this tip here, kind of like what I mentioned in the beginning, there are custom ones, so it really just depends on the style. This style right here is primarily it's going to be used for a receiver in the canal, but the other styles, if you have a red or blue filter like this, it's going to be the same process. The other style that I'm referring to is going to be more of a completely contained in the ear unit. So if you need to clean them, this will be the way that you do it. It'll be just like this. I'm going to line this up here, thread this in, all right? And I'm going to thread it in pretty good there, and then I'm just going to pull it. See that? That's the older filter. Again, I want to make sure, looking in the tip there, we can see that white piece in there. We want to make sure that white piece is fully visual. If it's not, again, contact us. We need to replace a few things, no big deal. So now that this filter's out of there, we're going to move on to our replacement, and we're just going to give it a twist clockwise and we have our replacement there. There's one ready to go. So use the other side, the side that's not threaded, and pick this tool, pull, and there we go. There you have it. There's the new one. All we're going to do is line this up, give it a push down, and pull out. It releases itself upon entering where it's fixed into place. That's how you replace that. Very simple, easy to do, and that's how it's designed to be. Another thing to look at and to clean is this little vent right here. There's a hole directly underneath the red piece there. This is a vent. It's a pressure vent, or, some of them can be a little bit bigger than others, but this one is a pressure vent, and it's just regulating the pressure in and out of your ear, and letting a little bit of natural sound in there as well. We'll go ahead and we'll grab, it's sort of another tool that we include, and you can use this. It's sort of like a poker. Okay, we have a long little plastic piece. All we're going to do is we're going to come in from the front, and we're going to, it just depends on which way you want to come in. If you see a lot of wax built up right here, you can come in through the back. So I'll show you that. Where you can see is right next to our little pull tab here, we have the back side of the hole. So go ahead and line that up, give it a push, and we can see it passes right through the other side. No big deal. So we'll go ahead and try through the front side just for a demonstrative purpose, and that'll dislodge any wax that's in there. With this acrylic piece, you can use alcohol on this guy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab my little alcohol swab here. You can use, dab a little bit of alcohol on your paper towel or tissue or whatever you want to use, but this is just good for me. So I'm going to just go ahead and wipe this down, gets rid of any of the debris, the loose debris, earwax, skin, anything like that, and it also disinfects it. So that's nice and clean. We know that. We're good to go. And that's pretty much it with the piece itself. Moving on, you can always clean using the cleaning tool that I just showed you. This guy here, going through the holes there, the ports, just to make sure that it's all completely clear of debris. Now, if we want to clean the actual unit itself, it's never a good idea to use any household cleaners. That applies for either this guy there or this custom one there. The device is the same. So we want to make sure that we're not damaging the unit, and we can easily damage it simply by just putting abrasive chemicals on it. So no alcohol on there, no household cleaners like Windex on there as well. I'm just gonna grab a dry paper towel and I'm going to brush it down. This is gonna get rid of a lot of the oil that's on here. I typically like to use a microfiber cloth because it just kind of sucks up any of the oil that's on there and all the moisture. Again, I'll do it over here as well, and that cleans it nicely. Of course, you can do it a little bit longer than I did. I'm just doing it for demonstrative purposes. You can always clean these on your own. Again, we offer free cleaning, so if you need it cleaned and you just either forgot how or you need a little bit of re-education, no big deal, get a hold of us. Like I said, everything's very simple about these guys. If you need us, you can call us. We're more than happy. Any appointment that you have with us is at no cost. So if you need something, if this cleaning procedure does not fix your issue, please get a hold of us. It is something else that's going on, and we have little tricks of the trade that we can fix it. Our local number is 219-229-1488 or toll free 800-509-1739. This is Alternative Hearing Care. Have a great day.